Because this was between 65,000 feet and above, and the strength of the signal was as strong as the surface contact on the water of an aircraft carrier. This contact was huge. It was got my attention and the attention of others that were on watch. There were 4 enlisted on watch and 2 officers at the time that this occurred. We challenged it and checked the codes out. It was not commercial, and then it began to move fairly slowly at first, and then very quickly. It was doing better than 1,000 knots. The first time I picked it up, it was hovering, it was stationary. Then it was doing about 1,000 knots. Then we contacted, it was over 500 miles away. And that high up, even though horizon line is at 18 miles on the Earth, when you have that high in altitude, you can detect aerial contacts at a much greater distance than line of sight, or UHF, let's say, communications. And so anyway, in this particular case, it was showing up on height-finding equipment, and it was showing up on radar equipment. The CO came in, and he wanted to know what the heck was going on here, and they looked at it and asked what the hell was that, you know, and it got the attention of the captain at that time. Was Captain Clark, was my captain. My commander was Commander Gibson at the time. And there was only one person on watch in ECM, and before I knew, in a matter of 15 minutes, the ship was being turned, and 2 Phantom IIs were being prepared for launch. Now I got on a set of headphones, and I'm on a SPAR 8 repeater now, and I'm listening to communications between the pilot and the CO flight ops. And when you go to general quarters, you do the same thing, and I was used to doing this because one of my jobs during general quarters was to sit right next to the commander of our division and to listen to the cap aircraft, and my job was to log in all the tally-hos and everything. My job was as recognition expert also to be able to identify different types of Navy ships, foreign ships, commercial ships, maritime ships, and aircraft, not only electronically but visually, be familiar with electronic fingerprints. In any event, the Phantom IIs went to afterburners, and they were about 100 miles or so away from this contact and turned on their conical scan radar to lock on, and it winked out. Just disappeared. I could see the 2 Phantom IIs on my scope, and this thing winked out. They flew around for about 10 minutes, and then they headed back to the ship. Now understand, this is normally they spot aircraft on the deck, but they always keep the side ramp. You can launch 3 catapults on the Roosevelt. You can launch the 2 forward catapults were, at this time, were occupied with aircraft spotted on the deck, and they launched these Phantom IIs off the angled catapult, and then they recovered them. And after they recovered them, about 35 minutes later, after they landed on the pipe, 35 minutes later, and everybody's settled down, this thing winks back on again, and it's about 12 to 15 miles from the ship, hovering at about 30,000 feet. It's a clear night, stars are out, and the lookouts, I can talk to them on my headphones here. Everybody's connected. Your air plotter, your surface plotter, your officer, your flag plot, the captain or whoever the officer of the watch is up in the conning tower. And on an aircraft carrier, this is very serious business because, you know, it's you have a lot of people involved and a lot of safety factors involved, and so it's not a normal thing just to fire things up that quick. And in any event, they went out, and the lookouts couldn't see anything. Nobody could see anything, but it was there on our radar scope. It was not a false signal. I never saw anything. I never left mine, but all I could hear were the reports coming over my headphones. And then the thing that really startled me the most was that after I got a break, we'd get, you know, they're pretty diligent about this in the Navy even today, is that you'd